welcome to Small Talk. I wonder, can you look outside your window and see what the weather is like? Today, where I am, it's snowing and there's lots of white snow on the ground. Have you been playing in the snow recently? In our story from the Bible today, we're going to see how Jesus is in control of the weather. That's how powerful Jesus is. In our story today, we see that Jesus is in control of the weather, even huge waves and wind. What's the weather like outside where you're at? Why not, after small talk, go out for a walk and enjoy the sun or the rain or the snow or the wind? Aren't they amazing?
Well, it's time for our true story from the Bible. But before we read our story, I thought we could try and control the weather by doing a special dance, okay? Now, it's been really snowy lately, so I'm in the mood for some sunshine, for some rain, and for a rainbow, okay? So we're going to start off with our sunshine dance. So we just got to flash the arms out. The sun rises in the morning and then it lets out the light. Okay, let's try for our rain one. Okay, pitter patter. All the way down. Great dancing. Okay, and lastly for our rainbow. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Okay, have a check outside. Has it worked? Oh, no, it's still snowing for me. I don't know about you. But that was a bit silly, wasn't it? Because we can't control the weather. No one can control the weather, can they? Well, time for our story. And in our story today, Jesus and his disciples were on a lake in a boat. Now, they were on the lake in the boat and the wind started to get a bit louder. Can you make a bit of a wind sound with your mouth? Whoosh. Just quiet though. And the waves, well, they started to get a little bit bigger and the boat started to rock back and forth, side to side. But Jesus' friends were fishermen, a lot of them, and they were strong men, so they weren't bothered. Can you show me a not bothered face? Yes, great one. Okay, but the wind, it got stronger and louder. Can you make a louder wind sound? And the waves, they got bigger and bigger and the boat started to rock more and more. And Jesus' disciples, they started to get a bit worried. Can you do a worried face? Because they hadn't seen a storm this big before. And the wind, it got louder and louder. And the waves, they got bigger and bigger and the boat was rocking more and more and the disciples were terrified. And they went to get Jesus to help them. And Jesus was asleep. And the disciples, they shook him awake. They said, Jesus, the wind is super loud. The waves are super big and the boat is rocking. Are you going to let us drown? And Jesus gets up and he goes. And the wind is super loud and the waves are super big and the boat is rocking. And Jesus says, quiet, be still. And the wind was silent and the waves were still and the boat was also still. Jesus has power over the weather. And his disciples were amazed. They thought, who is Jesus? That he has power over the wind and the waves. Wow, Jesus is amazing, isn't he? He has power over the wind and the waves. Well, none of us could control the weather, could we? But Jesus can, because he is God's Son. Thanks for helping me with the story, guys. You guys were excellent. I hope you had lots of fun.
In our story today, we've been learning about a time when Jesus calmed a huge storm, when there was lots of rain and lots of wind. So for our craft today, we're going to make a rain shaker. So all you need is a bottle without the label on, some rice, and some things that you could use to decorate your bottle. I've got some gems and some foam stickers and some tissue paper, but you can use anything that you've got at home. So what you need to do first is we're going to decorate our rain shakers. You can use anything that you want. I'm going to put some stickers on mine that says "Be still," because that's what Jesus said when he was calming the storm. There we go, I've stuck on my stickers, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to use some tissue paper to make a wave pattern on the bottom. So I've got a strip of tissue paper and I'm going to cut out a wiggly line to make it look like a wave, just like the big waves that were surrounding the boat. You might need to get a grown-up to help you do this bit. There we go, I've cut out my wave and then I'm going to stick it around the bottom of my bottle, just using some glue. There we go, I've got my wave on, and finally I'm going to stick on some raindrops. Remember, you can use anything that you've got at home, stickers or cardboard, anything that you want. I've got some nice sparkly raindrops that I'm just going to put around to remind me of the rain that Jesus stopped. Wasn't it amazing in the story when we saw how using just his words, Jesus calmed the wind and the waves? Wow. And my last one can go here. There we go. Once you've decorated your bottle, all you need to do is put some rice in it. About a quarter, so just the bottom bit, just pour some rice in. There we go. And then once you've put rice in the bottom, all you need to do is secure the lid on. You might want to stick it on with some sellotape to make sure it doesn't come off. And then here you have your rain shaker. And when you shake it with the rice in, it sounds like you're in a rainstorm. Can you give yours a go? It's time now for our singing. And our first song is about the rain and a little spider. It's called Incy Wincy Spider. So get your spiders ready. Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun which tried to pull the rain. So Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the spout again. Should we do that one again? Are you ready? Get your spider ready. Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun which tried to pull the rain. So Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the spout again. Wow, great singing!
Jesus to his plan. And Jesus looks inside my heart at who I really am. So I've got clapping hands, arms to raise, dancing feet for all my days, 'cause Jesus says to me, I love ya. In a special way according to his plan. And Jesus looks inside my heart at who I really am. I might have knobbly knees, squidgy tongue, hairy toes and a wiggly thumb, but Jesus says to me, I love ya. I might have spiky hair, a diggly chin, pointy ears and a cheeky grin, but Jesus says to me, I love ya. 'Cause he made me in a special way according to his plan. And Jesus looks inside my heart at who I really am. So I've got clapping hands, arms to raise, dancing feet for all my days, 'cause Jesus says to me, I love ya. In a special way according to his plan. And Jesus looks inside my heart at who I really am. I might have knobbly knees, squidgy tongue, hairy toes and a wiggly thumb, but Jesus says to me, I love ya.
Our final song is one that we learnt with Sam a couple of weeks ago, and it's about how Jesus is the King. A couple of weeks ago we learnt the chorus, but today we're going to add on another verse. But let's start with the chorus. Can you remember how it begins? Jesus is the King, ruler over everything. Jesus is the one, promised one, the Son of God. Jesus is the Lord, he's the one we can't ignore. Jesus, Jesus, he is the King. He is the King. And then after the chorus, we get a verse, and it's all about what we've been learning about in our story. It goes, he commanded the wind and waves, hey, be still, be still. And then we go, and they did, and they did, and they did. So let's do that together. Get your hands ready to do some shouting. He commanded the wind and waves, hey, be still, be still. And they did, and they did, and they did, because Jesus is the King, ruler over everything. Jesus is the one, promised one, the Son of God. Jesus is the Lord, he's the one you can't ignore. Jesus, Jesus, he is the King. He is the King. Should we do that one again? We'll do the chorus and then our new verse. Are you ready? Jesus is the King, ruler over everything. Jesus is the one, promised one, the Son of God. Jesus is the Lord, he's the one you can't ignore. Jesus, Jesus, he is the King. And for the verse? He commanded the wind and waves, hey, be still, be still. And they did, and they did, and they did. Wow, great job, great singing. Well, that's it for Small Talk this week. I hope you've had an amazing time learning about how Jesus is the King who's in control of the wind and the rain. Isn't Jesus powerful? There'll be no Small Talk on next week because it's half term, but we'll see you in 2 weeks' time back at Small Talk. See you then. Bye.